In this build, we're going to be showing you double reactor Hellion pressure. This is designed to take advantage of a Zerg who uses lots of Zerglings. You can do various transitions depending on what you scout. So it's designed to overwhelm the Zerg and gain map control at an alarming rate that could cause you to just be able to push into the Zerg and kill a lot of drones. We start off with our 10th supply depot. When you're at 9 workers, you can rally your command center to the front, and as your SCV travels over, we make another SCV. Then we build a supply depot with this SCV that's traveled over, and we fix back the rally. The SCV that built the supply depot will then be making our barracks at 12 supply. It'll be 12 supply because once the barracks is finished, or while it's building, you'll be kept at 11. And then you can make another SCV queued up, which will not build until the supply depot has finished, immediately putting you at 12 supply. At 13 supply, or 14, we can get a refinery. The timing is not too picky. Preferably, I normally pick 13 supply. This gives me a little bit faster gas, allowing the Hellions to come out sooner. However, with a 14th supply, we are less likely to be supply block. 14th refinery, we are less likely to be supply blocked because we'll be able to produce more supply depots a little bit faster with the excess minerals. We get the supply depot at the front, and we don't produce any units. This is the tricky part. The reason why we don't build any units is because we don't need to. We scout with the SCV that finished the supply depot. We're going to go ahead and scout out the Zerg space with this SCV, and we're not going to be making a unit until we need to. We will then be repairing the wall if any attack comes. With the 14th gas, we do want gas as fast as we can, but we wanted a little bit more minerals because of our expansion going down first. After the expansion in our own base, at about 17 supply, we then drop a factory and then resume SCV production. And at 50 gas, we create a reactor. Now we have no units out on the map, but we have a command center and a factory and a reactor on the way. We scout out the Zerg to make sure that there is an expansion here, which there is. This type of build only works against expanding Zergs. Once this SCV is done building this factory, we will have it start building another factory and repeat the same initial process that we had in this setup. The factory will be placed on the side, a reactor will be placed down over here, and then we will be swapping them once again. We are building 2 Hellions, another supply depot the moment we start producing Hellions, an orbital command. With these Hellions, we scout out the map. We produce 2 more right away, but you can either scout them out here or have an SCV out on the map. Since I already have an SCV out, I don't send these Hellions out. If you see roaches attacking, you will immediately want to switch to widow mines so that you can defend them at your ramp with the widow mines. If you see Zerglings, you will continue SCV production. You will build a tech lab with this barracks, just in case it is a roach transition, and then you can swap the barracks and the factory, so you can produce double marine, double widow mine, and siege tank. This will quickly deter any roach aggression. At about 38 supply, you do want to start another supply depot. And once you feel safe, you can move your orbital command down to the bottom portion of the map. I'm now producing 4 Hellions at a time, and I have 4 Hellions out onto the field, going to do some pressure and some scouting. The 4 Hellions, I don't bother fighting the queens, I go straight for the workers. If there is a lot of resistance, you don't quite need to push up the ramp, and you can just stay outside of his base denying creep tumors, or just letting him know that you're there, forcing an overreaction. We did spot some roaches here, making us go Widow Mine. You want to start walling off the ramp. You start off on the outer edges with supply depots, working your way in. Another supply depot here, another supply depot here, and then a bunker here. This finishes the wall off. You want to space out the Widow Mines, just in case of a Baneling attack, so that Banelings, when they die, don't automatically blow up all of your Widow Mines. We are luring him. If you're not ready for his attack, simply send your Hellions into his base when he's trying to move out, and you will be able to draw attention away. When your Widow Mine defense has been completed, about 2 rounds should be sufficient. About 1 Widow Mine for every 2 roaches is an alright number. You want to go ahead and get a command center and double gas. This will put you on 3 orbital command, economy on 2 base. Still producing even more Widow Mines to further secure our defense. You can place them around the map to scout out. We start an engineering bay, same time, 9 minutes. That's the crucial key on starting an engineering bay. Crucial timing. We move this barracks over, and we use him to make a tech lab. We will be going up to 4 or more factories this game. Once the engineering bay is finished, we start a missile turret. We don't quite need missile turrets, but I do usually get 1, 2, or 3 so I can feel safe. 1 in the production facilities, 1 in each mineral line. In this situation, I only get 1, just in case he was able to catch me off guard. This mineral line will be safe. We go up to double command center, or double orbital command extra. We throw down another one and 2 upgrades. With this type of defense, we are relatively safe against most attacks. It takes an incredible amount to be able to break this, and not many lower league players will be able to do this. The only way that you can be broken by this is a fast lair and lots of units, roaches, that are split up with an overseer trying to snipe your Widow Mines. Still, however, difficult to pull off because we do go for a Thor relatively fast around the time that attack would come. Once you've started double upgrades and you've placed your missile turrets, at least 1 just in the mineral line, and then 1 a little bit later near your production facilities, and then another 1 just in case of drops or mutalisks. You know, minerals at this stage of the game, when you take your 3rd, are something you can throw away into supply depots or missile turrets. So to feel safe, these are something we can place. Normally mutalisks hit your base around 12 minutes, 11 minutes. They can come sooner at about 10 minutes or 9 minutes and 30 seconds, which is why we get this early engineering bay. Drops can reach your base at about 13 minutes, which is why we get these missile turrets. Also for mutalisks to feel safe in a few locations. With our Thor out, we're producing Thor Hellbat at the moment, since we have a lot of Widow Mines, they deal a lot of splash damage, and they act like siege tanks. Then the Thor is meant to take out heavy units like roaches, and then the Hellbats are there to take out Zerglings. After our 1-1 upgrades are finished, we want to go up to 4 factories. We want to move our 3rd base, and then make this an orbital command. We want to be on 4 orbital commands by 3 bases, usually at the minimum. We do also want to end up getting to 5, or expanding really early to our 4th base, and then getting another 2 orbital commands. for the starport, we want a reactor, one reactor on the factory, and then the rest will be tech labs. So we can begin a lot of production for siege tanks or Thors, since we will have a lot of gas. Sometimes as mech you will need to be able to build 3 supply depots at a time. Mech are very supply heavy units. Be sure to occasionally scan the Zerg player so that you can see exactly what's going on, what type of army comp he's getting.
Your forces are under attack.
With our strong economy and our double upgrades, we have a force that can really heavily defend the Zerg. Especially since we saw the Zerg make even more drones. This means that he's not making any attacking units at the moment, and we can feel safe in continuing to build our infrastructure. Going up to 7 factories, double production, and securing our 4th base. The gases are once again the most important thing. As you can tell, my gas is low, my minerals are high, but I'm getting double upgrades, factories, upgrade, widow mine upgrade, lots of widow mines, which also cost gas. Once I take this 4th base, we get 2 more command centers. This way we can throw away even more minerals on missile turrets, supply depots, hellbats, command centers, expansions, and not have to worry. Remember that our goal is to protect our bases so we can get the gas using the minerals, and then using the gas to attack the enemy player. From here on out, the game is relatively on what we scout. You've now seen the basic build order on how to pressure him, be safe, and really attack him. You can sometimes, if you have really excess minerals and not enough gas, get a reactor, and a second reactor on one of your factories. This is usually the case when you get double armory upgrades. If you have a single, you won't be needing to do this nearly as often.